Hello, my friends. This is Chef Ruben. I have many requests to shorten my videos, so I have done this for you. Today, we are going to cook salsa. Here are the fresh tomatoes we are going to use. We're also going to use cilantro, onion, jalapeños, serranos, lemon, lime, garlic, and so forth. Today, we might take out a little bit because it might be a little bit too hot. So I recommend maybe 2 jalapeños at first. This is a cutting board with my knife. It's very important you have a sharp knife and very well balanced. That way the knife will be cutting for you. It is very important for a sharp knife. Chef Ruben very recommends the sharp knife. First, we will cut off the stem for the tomatoes. There we go. Then we cut the tomatoes into little bitty squares. Remember, it's very important that the salsa very look good. Not only taste good, but look good. So when we cut them up, do not cut your fingers with this. You must lay the rest with your fingers onto the knife. See how we cutting very smoothly with the chopped knife. It is very important we have a chopped knife. It's cutting very good. We have cut very good, and we have a lot of juices. I like a cutting board with a little reservoir around it. That way we can capture all the juices. Next, we put the juices into a little dish. We're going to fill them all up with chopped tomatoes, so it might go up to the line. Make sure not to overfill it, and make sure all the juices are inside. Do not rinse out any of the juices. Now we are stirring. See how very lovely it looks. It looks very lovely. The rich color. Remember, I always use fresh tomatoes. I grow my own tomatoes. That is the best way to make your salsa. Also, we are stirring. Yes, we are stirring. It's very good. We have cleaned the cutting board. Next, we have taken the jalapeños. It is very important if you wear contact lenses to put your contact lenses in first, because if you touch the eye with your contacts, you will burn. Now here we go, our proper cutting technique again. We are cutting off the stems. Here I'm cutting off way too many jalapeños. It is very good that you pour maybe 1 or 2 jalapeños or 1 or 2 serranos at first. And if it's not as too mild for you, you can put a little bit more. But it is very important that you do not overwhelm yourself, because it's very, very hot and very, very uncomfortable for the guest. Here we are cutting the stems off again. We'll cut the stems off for the other jalapeños. Again, we will make them a little bitty squares. They will look very good into the green and the red salsa mixture we're going to do. Remember, never used a blender. A blender will make the same taste, but it'll very look ugly. And it's not very appeasing for the salsa. We make it look ugly. Here we are chopping. Yes, we are chopping. We are chopping on the cutting board. We are chopping. Notice how we going vertical and horizontally. Yes, we are cutting the jalapeños and touching them with our hands. Remember, cleanliness is very good, because if you touch any part of your mate with the jalapeños, it will burn, even after you rinse yourself off or after you use soap and water. Here we are cutting. Now we're going to put it into the dish. We are doing it into the dish. Yes, it is pouring into the dish right now. There is a lot of jalapeños there, so you might not want that many. So for right now, we have the jalapeños and we have the tomatoes. We are just using a very, very good dish, and we are putting it into the bowl. That's right, the bowl. The bowl for our salsa. That's right, we are stirring it again. We want all the mixture to come together, to marinate each other. Next, we take the onion. We have 1 onion. We'll just use half the onion. They're very important that we use a white onion. We want the white onion because of the color of the white onion. It is very pleasing to the eyes when you have green, white, and red in there. It's very good for the salsa. We'll take the outer edge of the tomato. We'll take the outer edge of the onion. We're going to cut off the end part. Yes, see, we're cutting it off right now. Then we cut a little bit off the edge and peel the outside off. That's where the contaminants is. If there is any contamination of the onion, it will put it right there. Next, we're going to cut the onion. Again with the small squares. We could have larger squares or we could have smaller squares, but then we would not be very pleasing to the eye. Next, we'll be cutting and cutting. See how we're cutting horizontally and vertically again. We want these little squares for our salsa. We are doing very good now. We're cutting. Yes, we are still cutting. It's very good. Now we're gonna put the rest of it in the little container. We'll put that container away for later. Very important we can use, not waste any food. Now we're gonna put it into the salsa dish. Into the bowl. There it is. It is going into the bowl. It is going into the bowl behind my arm. That's right. I have bad camera techniques, but that's okay. Because salsa is very easy to create and very pleasing for the palate. Now we are mixing together. Look how good that looks. It looks very good. It would not look very good in the blender. I do not like to use blenders except for margaritas. But that is another cooking show we might do later. We're still cooking. We're still stirring into the bowl. Now we have cleaned up everything. Now we go for our next one. Our next is called the cilantro. Cilantro. That's right. Get a roll your R's. Cilantro. We take off the holder. We have washed it again. Even though it has been from the store and then they washed it, we must wash it again because people might touch it. Now we have a technique that we call raking. That's it, raking. We are raking the cilantro off the steams because we do not like a lot of steams in our salsa. It is not very good for the eyes and not very good for the taste. They have these little steams. So we are raking off the cilantro. See the raking? We are raking. We're still raking. We're raking. So we get most of it off. There is a little bit of waste when we do this. But again, we do not want the steams. We do not want the steams into the salsa. We are raking. Very good. It's working out very good. We are still raking. We are raking for the salsa. The cilantro is very, very pleasing for the nose. It smells very good. And it's very tasteful. That's why we use it on the salsa. It's been around for a very, very long time. Cilantro is very good. And we are still raking. We're raking a little bit more. Good. We're raking. Very good. Now we are cutting. We're going to chop. We're going to chop again vertically and horizontally with medium pressure. The cilantro will not fly away like other onions or tomatoes, so we can use one hand here. Remember, I am a professional, so I can do this very rapidly. Remember, the knife is your friend, but it also is your enemy when it comes in contact with your skin. So you must be very careful, especially with the chopped knife. Now you see we're cutting very, very fine. No need of squares, but just fine. Now we're going to put it into the salsa. And instantaneously, look at how it changes the look of the salsa. The green, the bright green, the bright red, the white, even the mixture of the jalapeños will give it a very, very beautiful look. That is very important for the salsa. Now when you're mixing again, it is very good. It is very, very good. It's good how we're mixing together. We want all the flavors to enhance each other, to marinate each other, and they will be one with salsa. Especially the jalapeños. The jalapeños have to be flavored with the other juices of the tomatoes. Now we're going to go to one of the most very unique parts of my salsa is the garlic. I like to get my garlic from Costco. Yes, Costco. It is very important that you get fresh garlic. Do not use any powdered garlic or garlic in a can. It must be fresh. I will show you why in a few minutes. Now we are chopping the garlic. We are chopping. Be careful with your hand. Make sure you put the knife and rest on your knuckles. That way is very smooth and very good technique. Now again we're chopping, and this time the chopping of the garlic will be very small, very little small cubes. That way it will be very easy and mixture into the garlic. But we will do something very special with the garlic first before we put it in a salsa. Something I've really liked to do for many years when I've been cooking. We will saute it. We will get the olive oil from Costco. We first heat up the pan. We do not never put cold oil into a cold pan. Never. Now we are putting the cold oil into the hot pan. We are raving over it, see if it is nice and warm. Now we're putting a little bit, I would say 2 or 3 tablespoons. That might be sufficient for our garlic. Now we are putting it on to the pan. Now we are coating the pan very good. Make sure it heats up very well. Maybe slight smoke may come out. Now we're getting the garlic and we put it into the pan. Now it is very important we have the heat on full blast, but it's also very important that we constantly stir it. We do not want to burn the garlic or it will ruin the salsa. That is very important. Now we are constantly stirring it. We want a golden brown salsa. Excuse me, golden brown garlic. So we will constantly turn it over, left, right, over, under. As you see, the flame is very hot, but it's good. It's sitting in the flavor with the olive oil. Olive oil is very important. Do not use any very vegetable oil with the garlic. Very important to use olive oil. Olive oil is very good for you. It is very good for the garlic. We are still constantly stirring. We are stirring. It is before your very eyes. It is becoming browner and darker. It is one of the wonders of nature. Now we will take the garlic and we will put it into the salsa. It is still very warm, so be careful not to burn yourself with the pan. And see, we're using with spatula. We'll put the spatula in to the garlic and scooping it out into the salsa. Now notice how the salsa looks now with the deep golden brown garlic based in olive oil and the red of the tomatoes. The cilantro is green and rich, and jalapeños. It is very pleasing to the eye, into the nose. Now we will get our lemon and our limes. We must first roll our lemons. That's right, we are rolling our lemons. We are rolling the lemons because it gets the most juice out of it. It is breaking up the insides that releases the juices. Therefore, it is very important that you roll it. Or I've heard some people like to microwave it. Either way, as long as you get the most juices out of the lemon and the limes, it is very good for the salsa. Now we're using a little filter. That way we get no seeds into the salsa, or it will not be very pleasant for the people who own with the chips and get some seeds. They'll get very mad. Now we are slowly putting the lemon into the salsa. It's looking very good. It is very pleasing to the eyes and to the nose. Now we will get another lemon. I say 2 lemons for the size of the bowl we have right now would be very, very sufficient. The lemon's natural acidity will break down the jalapeños to the point of a little bit, and will also mixturize the garlic and the onions together. Lemon is very, very good. I use lemon a lot. Make sure it is fresh lemon, locally grown if possible. Yes, we are adding more lemon. We're putting more lemon into the salsa. This lemon is very good. Very good for you. There we go. And there we go. Thank you, my friends, for watching the very first episode of Cooking with Chef Ruben. I hope you enjoyed it.